this presentation of the South Atlantic Conference on the Bears Sports Network. One of the oldest rivalries in the SAC renewed again tonight. It's Wingate and Lenoir-Rhyne. Whenever these two teams get together, it's always a big game, and especially tonight in the conference opener here in the shoe. Eric Bach, Jeremy Zalaka, so happy you're along with us in the conference opener here on the Bears Sports Network. And Jay-Z, both these teams got off to decent starts in their season openers. Both played in conference crossovers, both split their games, and Lenoir-Rhyne has lost 10 of the last 11 to Wingate, but they came really close 2 times last year, and you know that second-year head coach Graham Smith and the Bears think tonight is the night to break through against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, what a way to start South Atlantic Conference play with a rivalry game. You got your biggest rival, Wingate, coming into town. Like you mentioned, a couple really close ones last year. For some reason, in recent times, we haven't been able to just get to that next level and kind of seal the deal. We've been close a bunch of times, but hopefully tonight is the night the Bears can come through and pull out a victory.
If they will, it will probably be because of Emily Harmon, the reigning SAC Player of the Week, the reigning SAC Freshman of the Year. She averaged 17 points in 2 games over the SAC Peach Belt crossover right here over the weekend, and she picked up right where she left off last year against 2 really good teams in Aiken and Lander.
Emily can do it all on the court. There's not anything that she can't do. She can shoot, she can rebound, she can get to the basket, she can create for her teammates. She fills up the stat sheet with assists, rebounds, a bunch of double-doubles a season ago, another one to start this season. So she's a fun one to watch, and this is a talented group of a lot of newcomers this year and trying to gel together in the beginning of the season.
Wingate's got all 5 of their starters returning last year, including first-team All-SAC performer Brianna Troutman. Peyton Davis was on the All-SAC freshman team a year ago, and Haley Brandon was honorable mention All-SAC. So 3 out of the 5 starters for Wingate were on some type of postseason tournament team last year. So we will talk about the Bulldogs and Bears more when we come back. Right now, we've got the national anthem here in Shuford Gymnasium on the Bears Sports Network. All right, welcome back to the shoe. Starting lineup's about to go. One change for Lenoir-Rhyne. Brandy Hudson, the transfer from Kankakee Community College in Chicago, the JUCO All-American last year, gets her first start for Graham Smith. She averaged 7.5 points per game over the opening weekend here in the SAC Peach Belt crossover, including 11 points and 8 rebounds versus Lander. But Hannah McClung, she's been a regular in the starting lineup in her time here in Hickory. Tilda Lindstrom, the freshman from Sweden, gets the start. As I mentioned, Hudson, the junior from Chicago. Harmon starts. She's a sophomore guard from Chesapeake, Virginia. And Blakely Crooks, who had 13 points and 5 rebounds on 50% shooting against Aiken, gets the start. So 2 sophomores, a freshman, a junior, and a senior in the starting lineup for Graham Smith, who really revamped the roster. There was a lot of roster turnover, brought in a lot of new players, both transfers and freshmen, and has got a palpable buzz around this LR women's basketball team, who they lost to Lander by 12. Lander's the number 3 team in the country. They went to the Final Four last year, and Graham Smith told us after the game that he thought they played their C-D+ game. So if they can play their A game tonight, he thinks that they're just as good as anyone in this conference.
And Lander just actually moved up to number 1 in the poll a couple minutes ago, so some strong competition early. And you mentioned a little bit of the changes with the lineup. You know, a lot of the early season is trying to find which rotations work best with each other, especially when you have as many new players as Lenoir-Rhyne does and as many talented players that you're trying to find minutes. Graham Smith is trying to mix and match a little bit and see who can play with who and what the best combination of starters and bench players and some people that can bring energy off the bench, but some people that can get the game started fast for the team.
And on the flip side, Wingate, under head coach Ann Hancock in her 10th season, they start 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and a graduate student, but you know, you think 2 sophomores, a little bit of youth and inexperience. These are sophomores that have played a lot of basketball so far. Peyton Davis, Lauren Sullivan, Haley Brandon, Hannah Clark, and Brianna Troutman are the 5 starters for the Bulldogs, who are coming off a win over UNC Pembroke. They were the host of the conference crossover. Bears coming off the loss to Lander after the win over Aiken in the opener. Lenoir-Rhyne in white, Wingate in navy blue with the gold trim. Bears haven't beaten the Bulldogs since 2016. Wingate's won 4 straight in the series. And the Bears are trying to break that streak tonight. Blakely Crooks, Brianna Troutman will jump it up, and off we go. Game 1 of 2 tonight as the men's game is coming up after this. Saw the Bears, and we have an illegal screen on the first possession of the game on Troutman, so we saw foul trouble become a factor for Lenoir-Rhyne over the weekend as Emily Harmon got limited minutes in that Lander game because she got 3 first-half fouls. So Troutman, the all-conference performer for Wingate, gets one on the first possession of the game. There's Brandy Hudson, who traveled. So 2 possessions, 2 turnovers. A bit of a sloppy start to our night here inside the newly renovated Schuford Gymnasium.
Big foul on that first one. Troutman getting the illegal screen. And the last time she played here, she went for 16 and 10, went 7 of 11 off the bench in 30 minutes. So getting her in foul trouble early would be a key for Bears.
Hudson tips it, and falling out of bounds and ending up with it is McClung. Crooks with a full head of steam gives it off to Hudson. She had so much trouble finishing against Lander, but gets the second chance bucket and the first points of the game for LR.
Effort basket by Brandy Hudson. She missed the first bunny but stuck with it and finished, and Lenoir-Rhyne's out early.
Brandy only 4 for 15 from the floor against Lander, and a lot of those misses were close as Troutman muscles that one right into the chest of Hudson. Brianna 11.5 points per game through the first 2. Junior from Salisbury, right under the nose of Catawba. Here's Emily Harmon, who gets called for the carry, so 3 possessions for LR, 2 turnovers and a bucket, but they only had 9 turnovers in the season opener against Aiken. That was something that Graham Smith was over the moon about, but not a good start taking care of the basketball for the Bears.
That little hesitation is Emily Harmon's go-to move, so if they're going to call a carry on that, she might have to go to something else.
Troutman again, too strong. Rebound to McClung.
Both teams trying to pound it inside early with Hudson and Troutman, trying to get those easy baskets.
Tilda Lindstrom gets it into Hudson, who powers it up. She's got all 4 LR points.
Going right at Troutman, who's already picked up her first, maybe trying to get a little foul trouble or get some easy baskets, and Hudson making it count in the paint.
Brandy, 23 points per game last year in JUCO. JUCO All-American. Gets the start tonight. Troutman traveled. Dragged that pivot foot. And she will come out now in favor of A.J. Davis. Davis, a very capable post player herself. Junior from Baltimore, transferred into Wingate from Drexel.
But she's not bad going to the bench and pulling up a D1 transfer for your 6th person off the bench.
Good size as well. Crooks is Lindstrom. She had a couple early threes against Lander and then went quiet as her floater is too strong, and the rebound up to Wingate. Peyton Davis pushes and runs into Blakely Crooks. And the first foul of the game on LR goes on the sophomore from Morganton. 13 points in the opener, but only 2 against Lander. And an offensive foul off the ball. This one is on Davis, so a foul each on the 2 post players for Wingate, Troutman and Davis.
They're calling it tight in the lane. That was just a little duck in off the inbounds pass. As you can see right there, just fighting for position. That's a lot of post players get away with that, but they got that quick whistle tonight.
Tilda Lindstrom. Behind the back, Crooks gets a step in the easy 2.
Real smooth game for Blakely Crooks. She can get to the basket. She can shoot it a little bit too. It's hard to guard her.
One thing Graham Smith likes so much about her is her versatility. She can play the 2, the 3, and the 4. Playing on the wing here to start. Baseline drive for Sullivan, blocked by Crooks. And the pass ahead, too strong for Tilda Lindstrom as McClung might have gotten a little greedy there.
Just looking to push a little bit in transition, trying to find an easy basket. Just a little too high. Hannah McClung, senior point guard, 51st career game for her.
23 minutes per game, played exactly 23 minutes in both games, as going to the rim that time as Davis threw a lot of contact and no call.
A lot of contact on that one, but a play through as they get it back into Hudson down low.
Brandy almost tripped. Lindstrom has the 18-footer.
Hudson with 2 buckets and an assist there, so she's been a part of 3 of the 4 baskets for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Sure makes Graham Smith look smart to start her. A.J. Davis backs her down and misses off the glass. Crooks pushes and gets cut off. Harmon traveled. She definitely did. Got a little happy feet on the perimeter. And here comes Maddie Dillinger. She's an interesting case. The freshman from Waxhaw scored 10 points in both games off the bench over the weekend, and played 33 minutes against Lander. So even though she hasn't started yet in an LR uniform, she certainly has been a major part of the rotation.
I know it's always great to hear your name in the starting lineups, but you don't have to be a starter to make an impact, and she's proven that this year, getting 33 minutes and 18 in her first 2 games.
A bad pass on the post entry leads to Wingate's 5th turnover. We've got 9 combined turnovers here in the first 4.5 minutes of the game. And we'll take a short break as the Bears are out to a 6-point lead early on here against their rival Bulldogs on the Bears Sports Network.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Welcome back to Schuford Gymnasium, conference opener here on this Wednesday, November night. Lenoir-Rhyne off to an early 6-point lead over Wingate, but JZ, 9 combined turnovers, 5 for the Bulldogs and 4 for the Bears. Hasn't exactly been a very good start offensively for either team, but Harmon behind the back has her first bucket of the game. Maybe getting the Bears into some offensive rhythm here.
Yeah, a little sloppy early, especially for Wingate, just 1 of 5 with 5 turnovers. So 9 empty possessions for them, and Harmon gets to the rack like she knows how to.
Davis with the left hand fends off the defender. That breaks a 2+ minute scoring drought for the Bulldogs. And that shot is partially blocked by Davis as it's grabbed by Hannah Clark. She's leading the Bulldogs in scoring as a wing three-pointer drops for Lauren Sullivan. Sophomore from Mooresville cuts the lead down to 3.
Amazing how quickly momentum can shift. Wingate off to a really slow start, but back-to-back good possessions, and they got 5 points out of it. Now they're right back in this thing.
Bulldogs have been tested this year as Crooks has an open jumper that bounces out. Played 2 exhibition games against D1 opponents in UNC Wilmington and Duke. Played at Cameron Indoor Stadium. It's an elbow jumper that rattles out for Sullivan. Nearly had back-to-back buckets.
Nice little elbow pull-up, just didn't get the roll on that one, but a nice move, putting it on, shot fake, putting it on the ground and pulling up at the elbow.
One arm pass for McClung and an open 3 for Emily Harmon, who fills it up.
That's what makes her so dangerous. You play off of her because she can get to the basket, but she's really improved her long-range shooting, and she knocks that one down, so you really don't know how to guard her. If you give her a step, she can hit the jumper.
Another open 3, and in the answer for Hannah Clark. 60% on the year behind the deep line, and now all of a sudden, both teams are making shots.
And that was because of an A.J. Davis screen. She sealed off Hannah McClung, gave an open jump shot to her point guard, Hannah Clark.
Dillinger will take a 3 straight away that misses short. The rebound to Sullivan. Baseline drive for Davis, who gets cut off by Lindstrom. The post feed to A.J. Davis, and she'll head to the free throw line as Dillinger commits the foul. It's her first and the first free throws of the night for either side as we have a line change coming in.
Wholesale substitution. The 6 new players in the game, 3 on each side. Looks like Bone, Wagner, and Lansadil for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Megan Lansadil, the D1 transfer from Western Kentucky, who had a really good opener shooting the ball as Davis misses the first free throw. Only played 7 minutes against Lander and only took 1 shot. But Rose Bone, who played the most minutes in her Bear debut as Davis splits the pair, she took 4 charges in that opening game. That was the biggest impact that she had. And Dillinger nearly double dribbled there as Lansadil's 3 gets blocked. Sullivan with the block as Lansadil almost steals it back, but Davis grabs it.
Nice defensive play there from Sullivan, getting her hand up. Lansadil looked like she had an open 3, but closed the gap real quick.
Kayla Dyson in the game for the first time, and she pivots and misses off the left rim. The rebound to Dillinger. Harmon the bounce pass ahead to Wagner, an open jumper. She knocks it down.
That's what you can get when you get down in transition. The defense has to quickly try and find their player, and they left Alyssa Wagner wide open for a 10-footer.
Davis, a deep catch, gets blocked, but Sullivan picks it up. That's one thing, Jay-Z, that Graham Smith was saying that the Bears needed to improve on more was transition game, running. He basically played the whole game in the half court as Dillinger picks up her 2nd straight block. She's given up a lot of size to A.J. Davis, but holding her own down there in the post.
And it's not always about size, it's how you use your body, and she was able to get her hand on both of those, and Lenoir-Rhyne with 3 blocks in the first 8 minutes here today.
And Troutman, the first-team All-SAC performer on the bench for Wingate.
She's been down for a while. I think she came out with about 7 minutes left, so they're giving her extended rest.
Mayola Willis runs that one down. An open 3 for Sullivan. Already has 1. Can't get that one to go. Lansadil runs it down, and it goes back to Lenoir-Rhyne.
Great hustle play by Lansadil. She got to the board. She couldn't quite get it, so she just knocked it off of a Wingate player's leg, and Lenoir-Rhyne retains possession.
Hey, you wonder, Brianna Troutman only the 1 foul, but Ann Hancock still keeping her on the bench.
Looks like they're going with Eileen Hurley, so they got a rotation of 3 bigs that are all pretty tough. Gives them some depth in the front court.
Hurley on defense here against Dillinger, who spins in the lane and will head to the free throw line. Shot got partially blocked, but I think they're going to get Hurley on the foul, and they will.
A little bit with the body. Came down a little bit on the block shot. If you stay vertical, they'll let you get away with that one, but got too much of the arm.
Take a look at the Spangler replay. That left arm, I think, was where she went wrong. Maddie swishes the first. Went 7 for 9 at the free throw line over the weekend.
She's got a nice touch, too. She looks like she can knock down some jump shots. She attempted 5 threes over the weekend, so she can be inside-outside threat.
Perfect on both free throws. 6-point lead for the Bears. A minute to go in the opening quarter. After a sloppy offensive start for both sides, things have really picked up here the last few minutes. Bears in a man-to-man, but they're packing the paint. Wilson off the screen between two defenders. That was a nifty move. Jaya Wilson, 11.5 points per game last year and led Wingate in assists last season, but shows some good scoring ability there.
Bone tried to slide over and get another charge, but she was able to slither between two Bears and finish at the rack.
Slither, I like it.
Been wanting to use that one all day.
Wingate in a zone here. A 3 for Wagner. She fills it up. Not really known as an outside shooter, but knocks that one down.
17th career three-pointer in her 4 years here at Lenoir-Rhyne for Alyssa Wagner.
End of the clock. Wilson the floater off the glass, no good. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. You take a look at the Wagner 3 on the Spangler replay, but Lenoir-Rhyne with a 7-point lead. Wingate went 1 for their last 6 from the floor in the opening quarter. And it was a good opening quarter for Graham Smith's Bears, a 20-13 lead. Back after this on the Bears Sports Network, presented by NBA Roofing.
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Welcome back to Schuford Gymnasium, a 7-point lead for Lenoir-Rhyne over Wingate. Eric Bach, Jeremy Zalaka, so glad you're along with us tonight in the conference opener here inside Schuford Gymnasium, starting with a bang. One of the biggest rivalries in the SAC, Lenoir-Rhyne and Wingate. And JZ, it was a good offensive first quarter for LR. They shot 8 for 14 from the floor, 57%, and held Wingate to only 33%.
Knocked down a couple threes. Good balanced scoring. 5 from Harmon, 5 from Wagner, 4 for Hudson, and 3 players with 2 each. So getting their scoring from a lot of different players.
A whistle on Jaya Wilson as I think she tried to blow up that screen there by Rose Bone. The officials caught it. So just like the first quarter, the second quarter begins with a quick Wingate foul. It's a post touch that ends up in the hands of Lancedo. Emily Harmon starts the second quarter on the bench for LR.
Wasn't there much last year. I think she averaged about 36 minutes a game, played 40 a bunch.
McClung has to take a late clock 3 that rims out, and the rebound to Michaela Dyson, senior from Lincolnton. Another D1 transfer from Gardner-Webb, and another offensive foul. That is the third offensive foul of this game on Wingate, and the second on A.J. Davis, as Troutman will come back in now.
I really didn't see that one. It looked like she was avoiding the contact and about to pop to the post, but they banged her with a second offensive call, as we see.
Take a look.
Maybe they got an illegal screen, but it looks like not much there. There's not much on that one.
And now another illegal screen, this one on Dillinger. So the whistle's becoming a factor here. That's Maddie's second. She's the first Bear with 2 fouls, as Brandy Hudson will come back in for her. But I guess if you're a player, you just have to adjust to how the game's being called.
Yeah, they're calling it tight. Maybe trying to make those calls early so the players come set their screens without moving. But, a couple offensive calls here that really kind of slows down the game, bogs it down.
Troutman backed off Hudson, but left the shot short. McClung pushing the issue. Good to have people and cheerleaders back in the shoe as Hudson travels. But this was something that you experienced, of just an empty gym, and it's good to have people back in the shoe.
It sure is, and you don't like to hear your own voice when you're talking to an empty gym, but it's great to see this again, and it feels like it's been so long, and just to have the atmosphere and the environment of an actual basketball game with fans and cheerleaders, like you mentioned, it's great, and you kind of took advantage of it. And
another block by Wagner. She's known as a defender first, and a held ball will stay with the Bulldogs with 6 on the shot clock. Wagner, who made the 3 earlier, is known as a defender first, and showed you why there as we take a look at the Spangler replay.
Yeah, she's been one of the best players on the defensive end of the floor for the past 3 years for Lenoir-Rhyne. She always gets the toughest assignment, and she's been up to the task and really has been improving her offensive game every year.
That ball looked like it may have gotten tipped, and I think they initially indicated that it was off of Wingate, but they now have changed the call and say that it's Wingate basketball. So they give the ball, but it totally was. Definitely was tipped off of, I think, Rose Bone. So 4 on the shot clock for the Bulldogs. Have to go quickly here. But you could totally see from our vantage point the ball change spin as Troutman off the inbound kind of rushed the shot, but Bulldogs get it back with a fresh 20. Hannah Clark with the left hand, a little bit too strong. Wingate can't throw it in the ocean right now, under 30% from the floor. Harmon turns it over. Tried to force the issue, and now Wilson runs ahead of everybody and gets blocked from behind.
Was that Crooks or Wagner? I couldn't tell, but great hustle play by either one of them to get
Crooks,
back there.
I think. He initially pointed Lenoir-Rhyne again, but that was clearly blocked. Take a look at the replay.
Looks like it was, Blakely Crooks got that one, knocked it away.
So just over 2 minutes into this second quarter. Neither team has scored in this second quarter. This is the same score that we had at the end of the first quarter.
Really impressed with the Lenoir-Rhyne defense so far today, holding Wingate to 5 of 19 and 5 block shots.
Troutman a deep catch, and she ends the scoring drought for the Bulldogs. That was almost 3 minutes without a point.
Yeah, that's the advantage of a good post player. That's just too easy. When you catch it there, about 3 feet from the basket, high percentage look when your team is struggling offensively, that's exactly what Wingate wanted to do. And they've really made a concerted effort to get the ball into the posts with their 3 bigs so far today.
Hudson, she can shoot it from out there, decides to go to the basket, and probably should have just taken the shot as opposed to putting it on the floor.
They tried to do a little too much there, put it on the ground, tried to spin and lost out of bounds, but sometimes you got to take that first open look.
9 turnovers for Lenoir-Rhyne, and they haven't scored in 3 minutes now. So we saw a slow offensive start in the first quarter, and things went along, and now a blocking foul and score the basket.
We mentioned how Troutman came out early, only played a couple minutes. She averages 24 minutes a game, but this is what she can give you. Took it off the bounce, drew the contact, and finished at the rack.
That's foul is on Crooks as she was kind of leaning back there on the contact.
Might have been in the restricted area too. Couldn't really tell.
So Troutman with a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. She leads all scorers with 6. and now 7, as the lead is just 2 for the Bears. Still yet to score in this second quarter.
Troutman, 7 points in just 4 minutes of action so far.
Got that quick foul and went to the bench, but has been really effective since she's come back on. Harmon stops and starts, dribbles into the corner and turns it over. Jaya Wilson ahead of the pack, and we are tied at 20. Timeout, Lenoir-Rhyne. 7-0 run for Wingate over the last 3+ minutes here in the second quarter. Bears have yet to score in this second quarter, and that'll take us to immediate timeout. All square at 20 between Lenoir-Rhyne and Wingate here on the Bears Sports Network. Welcome back to the Shoe. 2020 Bears and Bulldogs tied up here. 6:47 to go in the first half. You saw Graham Smith in the huddle there drawing up a couple plays. Lenoir-Rhyne yet to score in the second quarter. And Jay-Z, what do you think the message was from Graham there in the huddle?
I think it's pretty simple. Take care of the ball. 10 turnovers is far too many for a quarter and a half. Emily Harmon with 4, Brandy Hudson with 3. You got to take advantage of the opportunities that you have. You can't just let them go away, and they've taken those turnovers and turned them into 7 points as Wingate so far.
Wingate is backed into this zone defense, and the Bears have had no answer for it. Lindstrom gets a step, kicks it out. Harmon's going to take a deep 3 and barely hit the rim. But Crooks there for the offensive rebound. Boy, do the Bears need that.
She always just finds herself in the right place at the right time, and that's because she works hard on the offensive end. The little offensive rebound put back with the Bears sputtering.
Troutman too strong, and Hudson a physical rebound. Harmon looks to push the issue. Behind the back, pivots, scoop shot with the left hand, misses the rim. And the rebound cleared there by Haley Brandon. The graduate student transfer from UC San Diego.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, North Carolina native comes back to her home state to play for the Bulldogs. Troutman, another deep catch, misses the bunny. The rebound to Crooks.
4 points, 4 boards for Blakely Crooks. A block shot and an assist. So filling up the stat sheet is the sophomore.
Really turned the corner in the second half of last year. Graham Smith said she really adjusted to the speed of the college game in the second half of last year. Takes the 3, misses short, but Lidstrom in the right place at the right time. Couple of offensive rebound buckets for the Bears after their misses to kind of get them back on track offensively here.
Blakely will tell you that was a pass. That was definitely a post-entry pass.
Give her the assist. Wilson gets around Harmon, and her reverse layoff misses to the right. But a travel there on Brandon. Looked like she might have gotten fouled, but the Bears lucky with the turnover there. That's Wingate's 7th turnover, so they had 5 in the first 5 minutes and have protected the ball a lot better since then.
Wingate just shooting 32% from the field and only 3-point attempts. So a lot of those have been inside the 3-point line and a lot of them inside the lane, but shooting just 32%, they're going to need to improve on that.
Back to a man-to-man defense now. Maybe it's still zone. Hudson right off the front of the rim, had just enough touch to get it to drop. Brandy's got 6 points, 3 of 4 shooting. That's the percentage Graham Smith wants her to be shooting, as opposed to the 4 for 15 she shot the last time out.
Yeah, when you get those kind of looks, it's just just a matter of time till they start dropping.
Great defensive play there by Crooks to strip Brandon. The ball bounces on the baseline and will stay with Wingate with 12 to shoot.
And that may seem like a small thing, but it really disrupts an offense. Now you only have 12 seconds with the ball under your own basket to try and make something happen, as opposed to a shot attempt they would have had.
The best outside shooter Wingate has, Lauren Sullivan, has her second three. Bulldogs, they're not shooting it well, but 3 for 4 from behind the three-point line. It's keeping Wingate in this one right now. And there's a foul on Sullivan. Both officials had it, just keeping in place in that hand. May seem tic-tacky, but that's the rule.
Nice left-handed stroke there from Sullivan. 2 for 3 from Deep. She's also got 3 boards today.
Take a look at the foul. Not much there, but enough to draw the whistle. Molly James, not close. Left it way short. And stepping out of bounds was Sullivan. A break for LR there, but James, the freshman from Great Britain, comes off the bench firing.
Neither of our last 2 3-point attempts have hit the rim,
Nope.
so going to get a reset to 30 because of full possession for Wingate. So 30 seconds to get something here offensively and try and find a little bit more of a rhythm. Just 3 of 8 in this quarter for Lenoir-Rhyne.
James gets a good screen all the way to the rim, lays it in off the glass.
Nice little move off the bounce from Molly James.
She was hurt the entire preseason. Her first actual game action was in the first game. Didn't even scrimmage in the inter-squad scrimmages, didn't scrimmage in the other scrimmage the Bears played, as Lindstrom let that one go and shouldn't have.
Just grab that one.
Just grab it, yep.
You got the opportunity. Don't let that call go against you when you can just grab it.
Had plenty of time, but just relied on the official to make the call, and it was pretty clearly off of LR.
Good help defense.
Davis with a bad pass, and Hudson grabs it. Even though this second quarter hasn't been great offensively for the Bears, they've been able to really hunker down defensively and hold on to their lead. Harmon, that's her move, behind the back. They're looking for Hudson. They were throwing it into her a ton in the beginning and haven't so much since then. Open 3 for Harmon. She hit it, but a travel, I think, on the pass on Tilda Lindstrom.
Graham Smith asking who traveled. I'm not sure who they called it on. I guess probably Lindstrom. Trying to get some clarification on it. He called it on Emily
called
Harmon.
it on Harmon.
As she looks bewildered.
Looks like a pretty regular jump stop to me.
A lot of whistles here in this one. Just kind of disrupted the flow.
Not too many fouls, only 5 combined here in the second quarter. That's just too easy for Troutman there. She's got 9 points to lead all scorers. Already taken 9 shots as well. Harmon dribble handoff and a steal there for Hannah Clark.
That was too easy. She had it in the right hand right in front of the defender. You got to switch that to the left, protect that ball.
Corner 3. Sullivan misses. She was 2 for 2 from behind the deep line before that miss. And
5 of 8 coming into this game from deep is Sullivan. Just 12 attempts coming in this one, so she finds most of her points behind the three-point line.
she leads the Bulldogs in minutes played through the first 2 games. Late clock for Emily Harmon. They back off of her. Lindstrom, she made a couple of those in the Lander game and has another. Corner 3 for Tilda.
Looked like just a miscommunication by Wingate. They played great defense for 26 seconds, but somehow Lindstrom wide open in the corner.
Troutman again lost it on the way up, and Hudson the rebound.
Troutman getting her shots up. 10 attempts in just 8 minutes of play.
This one tipped by Troutman. We'll stay with Lenoir-Rhyne. 1:01 to go here in the second quarter, as Dillinger and Alyssa Wagner will come back in for the Bears. This is probably the best scoring lineup you can have on the floor if you're Graham Smith. An illegal screen there on Dillinger.
I think that's the second they called against her.
And her third foul. So she comes in for offense and immediately gets whistled for her third foul. So that's just not very smart there from Maddie as you take a look. Just kind of stuck that left leg out, I guess.
A little bit. How many illegal screens have been called tonight? Seems like
quite a few. Another three for Wingate. Haley Brandon knocks it down. Honorable mention, all sack a year ago, averaging 9 a game. The lead is just 3. Wingate is only shooting 35%, but very much in this game.
Well, they hit 4 from 6 from deep, so 12 points there on just 6 attempts.
10 to shoot. Wagner a 3. And the rebound grabbed by Peyton Davis. And the shot clock should be off at this point, and the Bulldogs can hold for the last shot.
Clock operator Sarah Knighton hops all over that.
She is. Hannah Clark, the leading scorer this season for Wingate, gives it off. The 3 spins just out. Grabbed by Sullivan, tipped around, and that will end the first half. LR doesn't score the last 90-plus seconds of the half. Wingate hits 4 threes in that first half and is very much within striking distance. Just a 3-point lead for the Bears. Feels like the Bears at times outplayed the Bulldogs, but you said too many turnovers, 13 first half turnovers, and that kind of nullified their shooting 52% in the first half.
Yeah, back and forth first half. I don't think either team is going to feel good going into the locker room about their performance in the first half, but it's any team's ball game right now. It's a one-possession game, 31-28. Lenoir-Rhyne shooting 52%, but like you mentioned, 13 turnovers, far too many. That's 26, a pace for 26 in a game. That's far too many when they average about 14, 15 a game last season. And Wingate is shooting just 34% from the field. So I think if you tell either team, Wingate, you're going to shoot 34%, still be in it, or Lenoir-Rhyne, you're going to commit 13 turnovers and have a lead at the half, I think neither team has played or executed their best, but that's kind of November basketball. You're still trying to figure out your offense, your defense, and your rotations and who plays with who. So a lot of feeling out in the month of November.
And this is still, even though it's November, this is a big game for these two in the conference opener, the rivalry game. These two projected to be in the middle of the pack in the SAC and can maybe kind of set themselves apart here in the early season with a win. Halftime here at the Shoe. Lenoir-Rhyne 31, Wingate 28. We'll be back in about 12 minutes with the second half right here on the Bear Sports Network.
This once-in-a-generation project will give student athletes an advantage and position Lenoir-Rhyne as a leader in academics and athletics.
that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Doesn't matter who you are, Everett has you covered. Proud sponsor of the LR Bears.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back to Schuford Gymnasium here on the campus of Lenoir-Rhyne University. Bears and Bulldogs, Wingate and Lenoir-Rhyne, off to a very close first half here, 31-28 Bears over Wingate. But Eric Bach, Jeremy Zalaka, so glad you're along with us. Game 1 of 2, the men's game coming up tonight about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. But JZ, we talked before the half, both teams probably have some positives and negatives going into the locker room. For Wingate, they didn't shoot the ball very well at all, but they're only down 3. And for Lenoir-Rhyne, they turned the ball over 13 times, and yet they're in the lead. So both, you take the positive and the negatives, I guess.
I would think the key to the game for Wingate is making shots, and for Lenoir-Rhyne to stop turning the ball over. That's a simple way to
really
say.
cracked the code there. But
we're digging deep on this analysis. But, it's November basketball. We talked about this is kind of the weird thing about the schedule. These teams don't play again until January 19th. Right. They got to play so early in the season. Then I think they'll be two completely different teams by the next time they play January 19th. It's 3 months from now?
2
months from now. Yeah. Feels like 3 months.
December, January. Yeah.
I couldn't do that in my head.
There we go. Yep.
But, this is anybody's game. Whoever can execute in this second half and limit mistakes, limit turnovers, the moving screens, we've seen that called 6-7 times tonight. You got to make the adjustment. So you got to be completely stationary or you're going to get the whistle. So at this point, you can't just say the refs are calling everything. You got to make the adjustment yourself as a player.
Sure, and if you had Tilda Lindstrom leading the Bears in scoring in the first half, congratulations, you win. But
I did.
Troutman has 9 points for Wingate to lead all scorers. But a couple of Lindstrom's buckets were off of offensive rebounds, and really the second chance offense was the only offense that the Bears could muster there in that second quarter, where they only scored 11 points. So off we go here in the second half. There is Tilda. And Emily Harmon, 6 points in the first half, and she gets fouled there by Peyton Davis. So each of the first 3 quarters has started with a quick Wingate foul. And almost a turnover. And it is the 14th Lenoir-Rhyne turnover here as we start the second half.
Coach Smith not happy with the execution on that baseline out of bounds. Sullivan had her best shooter open on the wing. Was trying to make a move herself, but I think if she just went inside out, Sullivan was open.
There's a 3 that spins out there for Hannah Clark, and the rebound to Emily Harmon, only 5'6", but was the leading rebounder last year on this Lenoir-Rhyne team. Has 3 career double-doubles in 19 games, and there's another whistle off the ball. This one is on Hannah Clark. That's her first and the second team foul on the Bulldogs here in the first 55 seconds of the second half. Brandy Hudson had a quiet second quarter offensively after she had 6 quick points, and there's a travel on Lindstrom, and the turnover problems continue to plague the Bears here in the early going.
Yeah, a little bit more of the same in the first minute and 2 seconds. Couple turnovers and just empty possessions, and you can't have that as you come into the home stretch here in this pivotal conference game.
LR hasn't scored in nearly 3 minutes of game time going back to the first half, but they're still shooting 52%. Troutman gets contorted. Wingate wanted a foul, didn't get it. There's another feed into her, and the ball goes out of bounds as Sullivan maybe could have grabbed it but thought it was off the Bears. And it will go back to the Bears.
Not the prettiest start to the second half for either squad, but winning ugly is still winning.
Emily Harmon has 5 of those 15 turnovers, so she's got to protect the ball and score the ball better here in the second half. Only 5 first half points. Lindstrom gets a step and gets the floater to drop. Bears have turned to Tilda Lindstrom, the freshman from Sweden, to score. She leads the Bears with 9.
Yeah, impressive start for her. We're still learning these players and their strengths and weaknesses, and this just being the third game of the year. And Lindstrom has been able to do it from inside and outside a little bit, so I'm pretty impressed with her.
That was Peyton Davis. She got her first 2 of the game. Lindstrom picked up her dribble. McClung will take a 3 straight away. That clanks off the back iron. A grab by Davis. Peyton doesn't have numbers, kicks it out to Hannah Clark, who traveled. Seen a lot of those perimeter travels called in this game, and that one definitely was a travel.
Yeah, shuffled the feet. We saw that called on Emily Harmon early in the first half. It's something you got to be aware of. Just too many turnovers in this game, 26 combined from these two teams, and there's still 7:20 to go in this third quarter.
LR out rebounding the Bulldogs just by 2, 19-17. It's a one-arm pass to Crooks, and the short corner jumper drops. Blakely has 6 points now on 50% shooting, but she's one the Bears will have to lean on offensively, not only in this game, but this season. And that one gets tipped and will stay with the Bulldogs.
And that was Lidstrom on the good entry pass to Blakely Crooks, so she's doing some things to get this offense in a little bit of a rhythm herself.
Post feed to Troutman, spins to the left shoulder and has the easy 2. She's into double figures now with 11, and she's got some pretty refined post moves down there when she catches it where she wants it.
Yeah, that's just hard to defend right there. When you get it that low and you're that big and tall, it's an easy finish.
McClung kicks it to Harmon. You can tell Emily Harmon has been the focal point of the Wingate scouting report, as she should be. She pulls this 3 straight away, and that's down.
That's the risk of going under a screen on Emily Harmon. You probably could have done that a little bit early in her freshman year, but she's refined that 3-point touch. And Lindstrom makes a play defensively. They got numbers.
They do. Hudson ahead of the pack. She lays it in. Little 5-point burst for LR extends the lead back to 8.
Tilda Lindstrom just providing a spark for Lenoir-Rhyne here, as Hudson's going to draw. She's going to get called for that foul, hit Troutman on the arm. She'll go to the line for a pair of free throws.
Subs coming in. Maddie Dillinger comes in with 3 fouls here. The 5:44 mark of this third quarter. As Hudson comes out. That was Brandy's second foul. Melissa Wagner will come back in as well for the Bears.
So with McClung out, look for Harmon to do more of the ball handling, running the point guard, as she can do both. The combo guard can play a little the 1 and the 2.
Troutman, his first free throw spins out. She was only 3 for 6 from the free throw line over the weekend. She's now 1 for 2 today. Gets the roll the second time. And A.J. Davis will come in for Brandon. So now Wingate going bigger here with Troutman and Davis on the floor at the same time. This is a combo we haven't seen yet from the Bulldogs.
And they got Troutman guarding Alyssa Wagner, who is more of a perimeter player. So let's see if Lenoir-Rhyne can exploit that matchup. It's a mismatch on both ends of the floor.
Looks like the Bulldogs have backed into a zone here. A little bit more pressure up on the perimeter. Harmon an open 3 from the wing, a little bit short. Davis the rebound and traveled. Wow. Looked like there may have been some contact there, but another turnover for the Bulldogs. That is number 12 for them.
As you said, they went 2-3 zone in that last possession, and the danger of that is you give up open jump shots. And Emily Harmon had a good look, just didn't knock that one down, but it looks like they're back to man with Troutman now on Lindstrom.
Elbow jumper for Wagner, misses everything. Crooks runs down the rebound, but Troutman grabs it.
Oh, that's a double dribble.
Yeah, she just picked it up, and she knew it. She hoped she got away with it, but the officials caught it.
You know, the post players, you got to find the guard and
yeah,
get down low. They all want to be ball handlers and three-point shooters, but...
Sounds like you're speaking from experience there.
Well, I wasn't a ball handler at all. One-dimensional.
Just a shooter.
And I didn't even shoot that well.
In the corner, a long two for Crooks is short. Davis the rebound with one arm. Graham Smith not happy with that shot there from Blakely Crooks. Post feed to Troutman. 1-on-1, and now they double. She kicks. Davis traveled off the catch. The turnovers are piling up for both teams. 15 for LR, 14 for Wingate. A 7-point lead for the Bears as we've reached the media timeout here in the third quarter on the Bears Sports Network, presented by our friends at MBA Roofing.
Doesn't matter who you are, Everett has you covered. Proud sponsor of the LR Bears.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Welcome back to the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. A 7-point lead for Lenoir-Rhyne over Wingate here on a Wednesday night in mid-November. The conference opener for both the Bears and the Bulldogs. Eric Bach and Jeremy Zalaka, glad you're along with us. Game 1 of 2 tonight. Men's game coming up at approximately 7:30 or 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Jay-Z, it has been a sloppy third quarter both ways. The Bears still maintaining this 5 to 8 point lead that they've had most of the game.
Yeah, you'd love to see a little spurt to maybe make this double digits, take advantage of Wingate with a bunch of turnovers here in this third quarter. I think they came in with 9 in the first half. They got 6 in this third quarter alone.
Here's Megan Lansettle. She is a threat from the outside. And you'd think that she might get some looks here in the zone. At the end of the clock, Crooks shot fakes, fades away, and misses. Davis grabs the rebound. Open 2 there for Peyton Davis that spins around and out, and the rebound to Dillinger. Emily Harmon looking to push the issue. Stops and starts and commits an offensive foul. Looked like the official was about to go block and then decided to go charge.
Yeah, those are tough ones. They can really go either way.
Yep. I think that was the correct call.
She had a half a step, but it was a good defensive play.
Take a look at the Spangler replay. Yeah, I mean, that's good defense there by Peyton Davis to
very good defense.
Stay in front of Emily Harmon. It's just the first foul on Harmon. Wilson, she's crafty to the basket and gets the easy 2 there. Kaya Wilson now with 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting. Wingate still at 35% from the field for the game. Post feed to Hudson is not a good one, and the 17th turnover for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Yeah, you want to take a little bit of velocity off of that pass for a post player, maybe a bounce pass it in there, find a better angle, bounce pass it in. But yeah, these turnovers just piling up, and like I keep talking about, just empty possessions, and now Wingate's got a chance to make this a one-possession game.
LR hasn't scored in 3 minutes. Wilson again partially blocked by Lansettle and grabbed by Harmon. Has people ahead of the pack. Dillinger lays it in. Good find from Harmon.
Impressive running the floor from Dillinger, 6'2", but she was out in front of the pack.
It's an open 3 there for Dyson that skies off the back iron, and the ball stays with the Bulldogs off of Harmon. Take a look at the Spangler replay in transition. You said it. Dillinger just got behind A.J. Davis there.
She's really smooth for 6'2", to be able to just lead the break like that, catch in stride, put it on the floor, and get to the rack. That's an impressive move.
4 assists also for Emily Harmon. 8-5-4 for her. Jaya Wilson with the basketball. She's gotten to the rim a couple of times. Kicks it to Dyson for three. That's nothing but net. Michaela Dyson, the Gardner-Webb transfer, fills it up, and the lead is once again back to 4.
Wingate charging back into this thing. A nice offensive play there. Good set to get an open three-point look.
Hudson cut off, and a foul. I thought they were going to go travel.
Because she did.
Yeah.
She moved her feet before she put it on the ground, but I thought it was going to be a delayed travel call, but they got the hands on her.
So a fresh 20 for LR. 2:08 to go in the third quarter. It's been a fairly quick game given all the choppiness and turnovers. Alyssa Wagner bounce pass to Dillinger.
Just a miscommunication.
Another
Dillinger
turnover.
pulled her hands back. It was right to her. She thought maybe she was passing it to somebody else, and yeah, this is becoming a problem with 18 turnovers for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Passing it to the cheerleaders, maybe.
Maybe. They were open.
Back cut. Peyton Davis will head to the free throw line. That was a good job by her and a good job by Wilson to find her. Not a whole lot of space there, but the Bulldogs get a call there as Wilson, the foul was on Wagner.
Good backdoor cut, too, taking advantage of the over-aggressiveness on the defender. I think that was Wagner that got beat backdoor.
Peyton Davis, all-SAC freshman team a year ago. Came into this one 10 for 17 from the floor. It's 1 for 5 tonight, so her worst shooting night of this young season so far. But she swishes both free throws, and now the lead is just 2. Wingate very much within striking distance here in the final 2 minutes of the third quarter.
Lenoir-Rhyne has led for 25, almost 26 minutes in this one, so you hate to let Wingate keep hanging around and hanging around. The longer they're in it, the more they think that they're in this game.
Lansettle an open three. She can shoot it, but misses badly there. Every time the Bulldogs go into their zone, Lenoir-Rhyne just has no answer for it offensively.
Good deflection there by Hudson.
Davis right in the middle of the lane. Fades away and misses short. Good defense there by Dillinger. They look for post touch to Hudson, but can't get it to her.
Yeah, they had that zone unsettled. They had a couple players. They're just running all over this place.
Floater from Wagner is off back iron. Rebound tipped around and grabbed by A.J. Davis. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Haven't heard much from Lauren Sullivan in this third quarter. Here she is with the basketball in the corner. A.J. Davis strong down the lane line, blocked by Dillinger, and she saves it. Shot clock is off now. And Hudson turns it over. Wasn't ready for the pass from Lansettle, and now Wingate can hold for the final shot.
And that's a tough turnover right there because you have the chance to hold it for one. And instead, Wingate has the ball with a chance to tie or take the lead.
Wilson down the lane line. The left hand off the glass. And we will head to the fourth quarter, all tied at 42. Bears had jumped out to an 8-point lead, but a 7-0 spurt in the last 3 minutes of the quarter for the Bulldogs. Tie things up here at 42. The conference opener is heading down to the wire. Don't go anywhere. All squared at 42 as we head to the fourth quarter on the Bear Sports Network. Welcome back to the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. We've got some drama coming down the stretch here as we're all tied at 42 between Lenoir-Rhyne and Wingate in the SAC Conference opener. Eric Bach and Jeremy Zalaka, glad you're along with us. This has been a sloppy game, but it has been a very close game, which, if you're a fan, is a good thing. So Wingate has the first possession of the fourth quarter.
They have a chance to take their first lead of the game, but Hudson with a good defensive play knocks it away.
One-on-one, Brandy, Euro step, too strong. Dillinger grabs the rebound. Maddie picks her way, the floater off the glass and in.
Bears reclaim the lead, 44-42 on Dillinger's 6-point. Troutman inside going to work with the hook.
She does, and she ties things up here at 44. She's got 14 points to lead all scorers. 6 for 13 from the field. Only one rebound, though, surprisingly.
And the only player on the floor tonight in double-digit scoring.
Lindstrom has 9 for LR. Hudson from the free throw line. It's partially blocked by Troutman. The officials have let the game become a little bit more physical here of late, which is a good thing. Troutman pivots, almost traveled. A three-pointer by Jaya Wilson gives Wingate their first lead of the night.
Nice inside out there. Troutman not forcing it, found the open shooter with a good look from the corner, and it's Bulldog lead, 47-44.
They're 6 for 11 from behind the three-point line tonight are the Bulldogs. McClung an open three, spins out, but the offensive rebound to Wagner.
Good job to pull that back out, get a good shot here. You don't want to force anything.
Bulldogs still in their zone that has been so effective tonight. Forced a ton of turnovers and a ton of not very good shots for the Bears, and a travel by Dillinger.
Seen a lot of this 3 substitutions for Lenoir-Rhyne, just getting some fresh bodies in, and you hope by the end of this quarter they'll wear down the Wingate team and use that depth that they haven't really had last year. So Graham Smith's got a lot more depth than this year.
Wonder how the Bears handle playing from behind, something they haven't done the whole night.
Well, you got to start it on the defensive end. You got to get a stop here. Don't let them extend that lead too far.
There's a contorted shot there by Davis, and the rebound by Emily Harmon. Looking to push. Kicks it out. Dillinger all the way to the rim. Gets the bounce with the left hand.
Back-to-back buckets for Dillinger, and it's a 1-point game.
Sullivan, got to keep an eye out for hers. Troutman misses the catch, and the Bears have numbers. And now they don't, and Harmon pulls it back out.
We've seen in last year that this is the time that Emily Harmon just takes over.
Got to get Hannah McClung going on offense, too. She's had some good looks tonight, but hasn't been able to knock them down. Rose Bone in the short corner, 5 to shoot. Dillinger, floater through contact, and Troutman grabs the rebound. Ahead to Sullivan. The lefty lays it in with the right hand. The lead is back to 3 for Wingate.
That wasn't a great offensive possession for Lenoir-Rhyne, and unfortunately Wingate gets an easy basket and transition out of it.
Sullivan's got 8. That's her first 2 of the night. Bone open in the short corner. They can't get it to her. Just daring the Bears to take a 3. Harmon's floater misses short. Troutman grabs the rebound down. Open 3. Dyson misses right.
That would have been a big shot for Wingate right there. Just rattled out. Didn't get enough of it.
Dyson not afraid to shoot it. He's 1 for 3 now from behind the deep line. Looks like the Bulldogs are back in man-to-man. And changing up the defenses all night long. Bone in the corner. Cross court to Crooks. The 3. Off the back rim, but she follows her own miss. Dillinger drives baseline and will head to the free throw line. Tonight, a lot of LR's offense have come from offensive rebounds. They've got 7 of them. Gotten a couple layups off of them, second chances. But I think Graham Smith and just about everyone on the Bears will tell you that this has not been their best offensive night.
And that was a good play by Crooks to follow her shot. A lot of people just kind of hold the follow through and get back on defense thinking it's in, but she followed it up, got the ball to Dillinger, who's going to the line.
Maddie's first free throw is good. She's the only Bear tonight that has attempted a free throw. 3 for 3.
Yeah, just 7 attempts for Wingate, so not many chances at the charity stripe for either squad.
It's the roll, and it's back to a 1-point game. Dillinger, the first Bear into double figures with 10. She's now scored at least 10 points in all 3 of her first career games. Willis dribble handoff to Wilson. Down the lane line, the left-handed layup is good. She's been good slashing tonight. Jaya Wilson's got 11. She's the second Bulldog into double figures.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice move to get to the basket. Didn't settle for the jump shot. Got a high percentage look.
Back to the zone for Wingate. Seems to be just about every other possession defensively. Feed to Hudson. She's got the size. She's got the layup, plus a foul.
A great high-low right there. Hudson gets it in the lane, finishes and draws the horn, looking to tie this thing up with 5 minutes to go.
Fouls on Willis and Brandy Hudson, who in her first career game, that's pretty obvious, and 1 there. And she swishes the free throw, and we are all tied up.
Big defensive possession here for Lenoir-Rhyne. You want to kind of control this game now, grab the momentum.
Davis, too strong. She had a good look, but just threw it off the backboard. Great pass ahead. Hudson. No, she traveled, they say.
Great look, but Hudson just couldn't get her feet in order to give the Lenoir-Rhyne the lead again, but they're going to go to immediate timeout. Lenoir-Rhyne running the floor. Brandy Hudson up ahead, and that was pretty close.
Very, very close.
Tough for a big player to catch on the run like that in traffic and gather themselves for a layup as we look at these guys coming on the court in sumo costumes.
I think it's in everyone's best interest for us to take a break.
I did not expect that when I was in mid-sentence.
No, Lenoir-Rhyne 51, Wingate 51. Down the home stretch we come, under 5 in the fourth on the Bear Sports Network.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
.444 to go. Lenoir-Rhyne 51, Wingate 51. Couldn't ask for a more competitive game here in the conference opener. Both a game that both teams desperately want. A rivalry game. Want to get off to a 1-0 start in conference play. So a lot on the line here, Jay-Z, in the last 4 minutes and 44 seconds. And there's something going on with the officials here.
I wondered if they charged Graham with a timeout there. Whatever the call is, he's not real happy about it.
Yeah, he has not been too pleased with the officials and his team the whole night.
Well, it can't get any closer than this, I heard.
It can't. Davis blocked.
Nice play. I think that was
side.
Blakely
it was
Crooks.
Blakely Crooks.
The great Blakely Crooks.
And now Bulldogs back in man-to-man. I think it is just about every other possession between zone and man.
And it's really thrown Lenoir-Rhyne out of rhythm tonight.
This is Emily Harmon time for LR. She takes it to the rim and will head to the free throw line.
This is Harmon time. The last 5 minutes of the game, she's shown a knack in her freshman year and now sophomore year that she wants the ball in her hands in clutch moments. As she takes it off the dribble and gets to the rack, draws the contact, going to the line.
Foul was on Sullivan. That's her fourth. So that's a pretty big call there against the Bulldogs as their best three-point shooter goes off. And Harmon misses the first free throw. That's the first free throw miss of the night for LR. Now 5 for 6. Bulldogs 5 for 7. Emily gives the Bears the lead back. They had squandered it for the first time tonight early in the quarter, and now they have it back by just 1. Davis and Hudson battling. Davis gets it off to Wilson in the middle of the lane. Tipped. Wingate out of sorts offensively here on this possession. Cross-court pass. Hannah Clark, reverse layup, goes off the bottom of the backboard. And the rebound by Tillinger.
Tremendous defensive possession there for Lenoir-Rhyne. Wingate was all out of sorts, and now the Bears have it, looking to extend their lead. This has been an incredible game. LR's biggest lead was 8. Wingate's biggest lead was 3. It's really been a tight game throughout.
Yeah, no double-digit leads for either side. Just what you want in a rivalry game. Hannah McClung off the screen from Hudson. Tries to take Wilson, and her shot is too strong off the glass.
I don't know if Coach Smith, that was the shot that he wanted.
He was not pleased with that shot there from McClung.
In her defense, there was 3 seconds on the shot clock, so they had to get something up. Maybe it was the possession in total that he wasn't happy with.
Every possession of huge importance at this juncture of the game. Under 10 on the shot clock for the Bulldogs, and a foul on Blakely Crooks. They say she contacted with alternating hands there, which is an automatic foul in the women's game. Let's take a look at the replay.
Just the first foul on the Bears in this quarter.
3 on the Bulldogs, so we have yet to see either team get to the bonus tonight. So despite the choppiness of this game, there hasn't been a ton of fouls called, really, relative to some other games. And now they are talking about something at the scorer's table. I'm not sure what, but whatever it is, it's resolved. And a fresh 20 for the Bulldogs with 2:48 to go. Dillinger almost steals it, and then McClung grabs it.
Pull it out. Good play by Hannah McClung. Veteran senior point guard move right there. So it was about a 2-on-3, and she knew that this is too valuable of a possession to force something.
Took the words out of my mouth. Good defensive play there by Troutman to step in the passing lane, but still plenty of time on the shot clock for LR. 15 and 2.5 minutes to go.
Bears just 3 of 10 in the fourth quarter here, but gotten to the line 5 times, hitting 4 of those, so taking advantage of the charity stripe.
McClung. Ball's in Emily Harmon's hands. The end of the shot clock. She spins in the lane. A little too strong.
Troutman pushing again.
Long 3 for Haley Brandon. What a clutch shot for her. And Wingate back in front by 2.
Troutman starting the break, dishing to an open shooter, and that's a dagger right there. Big shot for Wingate to take that lead back.
Brandon's second 3 of the night.
Big possession here for LR. 10 to shoot.
Dillinger almost traveled. Hudson ties the game.
She got away with a walk there, but Lenoir-Rhyne's not going to complain. Tie ball game, 1:40 to go.
What more could you want out of this conference opener? Troutman too strong. Offensive rebound and a foul before the shot there on Hannah McClung. That's the right call.
And that's a good foul
it
from
is,
Hannah.
Definitely.
It was probably an easy putback for Wingate, but got her on the floor, and it's a baseline underneath.
Only the second foul of the fourth quarter on Lenoir-Rhyne. Take a look, and she whacked her there. Minute 27 to go.
Look for Wingate to get this inside to Troutman. She's been really effective in the lane.
Trying to throw it to her.
3.
10 seconds. Troutman spins. Floater drops. Wingate back in front.
Nice move by Troutman. Just got out of the lane enough to break the 3-second call, and a nice finish in the lane.
16 points for Troutman. Harmon behind the back. Spins. Pivots. Kicks. Dillinger banks it in. Gets the roll. Bears back in front.
I heard her call it, Eric. She called bank on that one, and we're going to get a timeout from Wingate.
Timeout, Wingate. Back and forth we go. A wild conference opener as Dillinger used all of the rim and all of the glass to give Lenoir-Rhyne the lead. My goodness, 47.3 seconds to go. This has been a back and forth fourth quarter. But the freshman, Maddie Dillinger, with some onions there.
You got to give both of these teams credit. They haven't played their best ball, but they're both leaving it all out there, and it's a one-point game. It's been a competitive game, back and forth this whole way. Neither team really having the upper hand. And to come down to the last 47 seconds in this conference opener early in November, and it's crazy to think, but this has so much of a bearing in the standings at the end of the season. You know, one game may not seem like anything in November, but, you know, this could be the tiebreaker or, you know, the conference seeding later in the season to go into that SAC tournament. So, you know, you could look back on this, either team can look back on this later in the season and say this was a really, really big victory.
And I think both teams would agree that neither one has played their best game tonight, but you just got to find a way to win these early season games before you really round into form. But let's talk about this upcoming possession for Wingate. You've got to think they're going to Troutman again as they have most of these possessions of late.
It's no secret where the ball's going. I think it looks like Hudson's going to be in and Dillinger, so I'm seeing that probably Hudson will probably match up with Troutman as she has much of the game, and she's just got to work really hard to get around her, play really good defense, and try and make somebody else beat you. Troutman was 16, nobody else with more than 8 tonight for Wingate, so try and make one of those guards beat you.
Pressure on the sideline, they get it into Troutman.
That's where you want her to have the ball, 30 feet from the hoop, but she puts it on the floor.
And she muscles in and will head to the free throw line. Oh, nearly an and one as that one spun out. The foul's on Hudson. That is her third. And the third on Lenoir-Rhyne here in the fourth quarter. But big free throws here for Brianna Troutman. Only 50% coming in, and she misses the first. This is one chink in the armor is her free throw shooting. She's hovered around 50% for her whole career.
And this is a big, you talked about the 50%. You got to box out here because if she misses this, you don't want Wingate to get that offensive rebound. You want to get the board and take that 30 seconds of possession and leave Wingate with about 10 seconds left.
First team all-SAC performer from a year ago ties the game at 57. Clutch free throw there after she missed the first. Easy for her to kind of get rattled there, but the timeout for Graham Smith will advance the ball now in the women's game. That's a rule that the women have that the men don't. So now where do you go offensively if you're Graham Smith? It's got to be Harmon or Dillinger.
Yeah, I think it might even be a two-man game with a high ball screen with Harmon, but I think the ball is going to be in Emily Harmon's hands. She just does so much. She can make a play for herself or she can make a play for her teammate off the bounce. I think you got to give her the ball and give her a little space. You want to run some of this clock down with 39 seconds, but a tie game, the main priority is getting a bucket on this possession.
LR shooting 46%, but only 5 for 17 from behind the three-point line. And we mentioned the turnovers, 21 of them in the game, but they were on pace for even more than that. The turnovers have kind of slowed down here later in the game as Hudson has gotten involved in the offensive glass. She's got 13 points. Dillinger's got 13 points. So the two post players that struggled to put the ball in the basket around the rim against Lander are carrying the brunt of the load tonight offensively for LR, with on a fairly off night offensively for Emily Harmon, only 9 points on 3 of 8 shooting. She has 7 rebounds and 6 assists, so she's made her mark on the game in other ways other than scoring. But
each team with 30 points in the paint, so also look for Hudson and Dillinger to get a touchdown low.
They advance the ball right in front of the LR bench. McClung, Harmon, Hudson, Dillinger, and Crooks, the 5 for the Bears. About a 9-second difference between game and shot clock.
You're going to run some time, but you also don't want to get out of rhythm offensively. You don't want to start this possession too late and have to force something up.
Bears are into their set.
Hudson open down low.
A lot of dribbling, and they throw it into the corner. Dillinger fades away and traveled. So not a good time for a turnover. And now with 14.4, Wingate has the opportunity for the final shot here, and Ann Hancock will call timeout to draw up the play with Sullivan coming back in, their best three-point shooter. And now the Bulldogs will be able to advance the ball as well with 14 seconds. So Wingate's got the upper hand here with 14 seconds in a tie game.
Yeah, you'd hate to doubt an offensive set there, but I think Lenoir-Rhyne focused too much on taking time off the clock than getting a good shot. It's a tie ball game. You know, you're going to need to get a stop eventually anyways. I think just dribbling the ball up top for 15 seconds kind of got out of rhythm a little bit. They had a Hudson down low off of a switch where she was open, but McClung couldn't find her, and Dillinger tried to make something happen, but the shot clock was running down. You got your post player putting the ball on the floor trying to make something happen. Probably not the ideal situation, right, with Emily Harmon not getting really a touch on that play either. Sure. So now it's Wingate's turn, and they're going to have 14 seconds to try to come in here and steal a road game.
Game that has seen Lenoir-Rhyne lead for 30-plus minutes in this game, but the only time the lead matters is when there's 0 on the clock, and that's what Wingate's trying to do here. Jaya Wilson, we're under 10.
High ball screen from Troutman.
Wilson kicks. Sullivan a corner 3 off the front iron. Rebound tipped around, and it goes out of bounds with 0.2 seconds. Back to Lenoir-Rhyne. That was a decent look for Sullivan there.
It was a great play. I love that play call. You got your 3 best players: your ball handler, your center, who's been your best player, and your best shooter in the corner. And one of those 3 is going to get open look. Sullivan had a great look, just couldn't knock it down. But that was a great set. You see here that high screen.
I mean, you got an open look at 3, but for your best 3-point shooter.
And that puts Crooks right there, had to make a decision. Do you stop the ball and leave the open shooter, or do you stay on the shooter and let the point guard get to the basket? She made the right choice. You're going to want to make them beat you with a corner 3. And unfortunately for Wingate, fortunately for Lenoir-Rhyne, that didn't go down, and we're going to go to overtime. There's not much you can do with 0.2 seconds.
Well, the only thing you can do is tip legally. I mean, 0.3 or less, you cannot catch and shoot. That's in the rule book. So it has to be a throw to the rim here and a tip for Lenoir-Rhyne. Obviously the ball advanced, so a little bit more feasible as the ball's thrown from the front court. So Crooks will inbound, and looks like the Bears will send everyone towards the rim, but it's got to be Dillinger or Hudson here to the rim with 0.2. Dillinger back screen, and we are going to overtime as the pass was bothered, but feels like this was inevitable the way this has been going in the fourth quarter. Extra basketball here at the Shoe in the conference opener. 57-57. Stats just about even. The only stat that really sticks out to me where Lenoir-Rhyne had the advantage was blocks. 14 blocks for the Bears and only 3 for the Bulldogs, but the Bears out-rebound the Bulldogs by just 3. The turnovers, Lenoir-Rhyne 22, Wingate 17. Points in the paint, you mentioned. A wash at 30 is aside. The bench points, I mean, it's just about as even as you can get across the stat sheet here, but
we're having too much fun in here, man. We got to do it for a little bit longer.
First game we do together goes to overtime. Just can't get enough of me. I know
it.
But
poor Blake Simmons waiting in the bullpen now. He's got to warm back up for the next for the men's game
he's
call.
The closer tonight. But foul's a factor too. Lauren Sullivan has 4 fouls for Wingate. She's the only one with 4, but Ann Hancock definitely does not want her to get her 5th. They're going to need her for all 5 minutes of this overtime period. And
Ann Hancock's won 183 games at Wingate in 10 years. That's 18 wins a year. She knows what she's doing in these situations, and it's it all comes down to execution. We talked about it at halftime. You got 5 minutes. You got to make the most out of every single possession in this 5-minute span, and whoever can do that more effectively is going to come away with a big, big win here tonight.
Bulldogs been to 6 consecutive NCAA tournaments from 2014 to 2019. So Coach Hancock and the Bulldogs have been here before as we have a held ball.
Good play by Hannah McClung tying that up, and that should be Lenoir-Rhyne basketball.
It is, as Wingate won the tip. Back to the Bears it goes.
We've got to feel for our guy Nick DeLorme here. This is his first game on clock. He's stressful in the last stop in the clock under a second. Trial by fire, they call this one.
Just hope that the scoreboard doesn't break with 28 seconds to go like it did over the weekend. Hudson bumped around. The ball stays with Lenoir-Rhyne off of Troutman.
She did not agree with that call. It's 15 halfway through the shot clock here, so Lenoir-Rhyne's going to try and run a little set under their own basket.
Interesting that Harmon is the inbounder, and there is a foul on Wingate's Haley Brandon, who made that clutch 3
that was a huge shot
with about 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. We wouldn't be here without that shot. So they reset to 20 on the shot clock now after the foul. Fouls don't reset after the fourth quarter, so LR in the bonus. There's a long 2 from Crooks. Misses short. The rebound to Brandon.
Good screen-the-screener action on that out of bounds. Got Blakely Crooks a good look, just couldn't knock it down.
Wide open, Troutman got some separation from Hudson. Wingate's got the first bucket of overtime.
Yeah, Troutman's really had a really good game, and this is her second straight year where she's put up numbers here inside the shoe.
She's got 19 points, 8 for 16 from the floor. Bounce pass into Hudson. Harmon stops and starts, gets in the rim, foul, plus the bucket.
That's a big-time move from Emily Harmon off the bounce, drawing the contact. Got a chance to put Lenoir-Rhyne back ahead.
Fouls on Wilson.
The hoop and the harm, man.
The hoop and the harm.
Man, Harmon.
Oh, jeez.
Harmon.
Oh, Lord.
I tried. Don't pull that one out in overtime, huh?
I give you credit for boldness, but that's about it. Bears back in front. Hannah Clark, who's the leading scorer coming in, only 3 points tonight, and Troutman will go back to the free throw line.
Hannah's trying to get a held ball out of that one, but they're going to get Brandy Hudson on the foul, so maybe it was clean on the block tie-up, but Hudson with the body.
Only the third on Hudson, and both teams in the bonus the rest of the way. 5 team fouls on Wingate and 4 on Lenoir-Rhyne, so both teams shooting the double bonus.
Troutman 3 of 5 from the line.
Ties the game at 60. She had a chance to put Wingate up 1 and split the last set of free throws she had. But has both of them here to give the Bulldogs the lead again, 61-60, 21 points. Troutman taking it to the Bears once again. A lot of dribbling here for Emily Harmon. Dillinger off the screen. Had a big 3 earlier, and that one rims out.
Got a good look, though. Caught that one in rhythm, just couldn't find the bottom.
And a foul on Hudson there on the post entry as the pass looked like it was thrown right to her, but Troutman was on the ground, and 6'2" strong player that Troutman is probably doesn't end up on the floor by accident.
Yeah, I think Hudson...
She might have just tripped.
I know. Let's take a look at that one more time. And, yeah, I don't see a ton of contact. But
it's the fourth on Brandy Hudson, though, and the first free throw rims out.
They would say ball doesn't lie.
I think they say ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
Yeah.
So, see?
She misses them both, but the offensive rebound for Wilson. That's a big offensive rebound for her and a big mistake on the defensive board for the Bears. Troutman spins. Too easy. Wingate up 3.
Yeah, just got right past Hudson in the lane, and this is a big offensive possession now for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Which team has the most poise and moxie down the stretch? Bears haven't trailed much tonight. They throw it into Hudson. Brandy spins. Brandy's layup drops.
A battle of the post players in this overtime as Lenoir-Rhyne pulls back within 1. Hudson with 15. Troutman with 23. Hudson with 4 fouls, though. She's got to play smart defensively as they made the switch. Now Dillinger is guarding Troutman.
Picks up her dribble. Kicks it. Clark passed up a 3. Dumps it off to Brandon. And back to Lenoir-Rhyne.
Hannah McClung has got her hands on 2 or 3 balls in this overtime. Really disrupted Wingate's offense. Stuff that you don't see in the box score, but big plays from the senior.
Graham Smith called her the best leader he has on this team. She's not scoring it tonight, but doing it every other way. Here she is with 17 to shoot. Trying to get the ball back to Harmon, and they nearly turn it over.
9 to shoot.
Emily drives. Off the glass! Lenoir-Rhyne back in front. Back and forth we go. Look for Troutman and ripped out of there by Crooks.
What a defensive play, 2-on-1.
Harmon the open layup.
Blakely Crooks with a great play and the dish. The Bears up 3 with a quick 4-0 spurt.
Wingate hasn't scored in 2 minutes. 3-pointer for Brandon. We are tied. We're going shot for shot here at the Shoe.
2 massive 3-pointers by Brandon, just cool as a cucumber.
1 minute to go in overtime. Wingate back in zone. McClung from the wing. And it goes over the top of the backboard, out of bounds, back to Wingate. The ball goes over the backboard, it's out of bounds. Graham Smith asking for an explanation, but I think that's the right.
That shot by Brandon. That was a huge, huge shot.
Talk about good timing tonight for her.
Absolutely. The momentum all in favor of the home team, the home crowd going crazy, and just a silencer.
About a 17-second difference between game and shot clock. Troutman with Dillinger on her. Spins towards the middle. Fades away. Gives Wingate the lead again.
Yeah, they're going to have to double team her, but they're only going to have one more look at it for Wingate. But
25 for Troutman.
Just taking over, 10 of 18.
Dillinger trapped in the corner. 10 to shoot. Harmon thought about the 3. The floater misses short. Troutman the rebound. 10 seconds to go, and they do. Dillinger grabs, and the clock ran a little extra there maybe after the whistle. So now it becomes a free throw game.
Good foul there, too, on sending Troutman to the line. She gets 2 shots, but probably one of the worst free throw shooters on the floor.
She's 5 for 9 from the line tonight. Came in a 50% shooter. And
need her to miss 1 or 2.
2 big ones here for her. As the first.
Got to box out here. You've seen them get an offensive rebound off one of her missed free throws.
She misses the second short. Hudson the rebound. And a timeout for the Bears? It is. Timeout, Lenoir-Rhyne. 5.8 to go. The ball will be advanced up in front of this LR bench.
I don't think you have enough time to go for a two-pointer here. You need to shoot a three. You need to try and draw even. Normally, if you maybe have 10, 12 seconds, you can try and get the quick basket foul again, try and extend it a little bit that way. Hope they miss a free throw. But with 5.8, this has to be a three-point attempt. And I would imagine it's Emily Harmon, it's Blakely Crooks, maybe Dillinger off maybe a pick-and-pop action. But got to go for the three-pointer and the tie to send it to double overtime.
Troutman's 26 points, by the way, is a career high.
Yeah, she's been incredible tonight for Wingate, and we had a feeling that might be the case. Got off to a little slow start, played a couple minutes, got an early foul, sat most of the first quarter, but has really put her stamp on this game in the last 3 quarters and in this overtime period. Seems like she's the only one that scored in overtime for Wingate other than that three-pointer.
But a 6-0 run over the last minute 13 for the Bulldogs after the Bears went up 3. Wingate got the 3 from Brandon, and then a couple of few free throws extends the lead to 3. 5.8 to go. Bears looking to tie. McClung will trigger in front of her bench. To get it to Harmon in the corner. Harmon fouled. So that's not the worst play in the world there for Wingate.
Yeah, that's a pretty smart move by Coach Hancock. You can't draw even when you only got 2 shots. So she's going to have to make one, try and miss the second, get an offensive rebound.
You don't think that you can make them both and then hope for a foul with 3.6? That's right on the edge.
Yeah, it's close. It really comes down to if she makes this one right here or not.
That's true.
You have more options if she hits this one.
And she does.
So we'll see what Coach Smith does. Maybe shades of Duke NC. Tyus Jones.
Maybe a little Leitner action, too. And a whistle, but I think Graham Smith faked out the official there. Looks like she's going to try to make it, and she does. So now Smith calls the timeout as the lead is back to 1. I think 3.6 is enough to try to get a steal, and if you don't, a foul, as long as you don't let Wingate run away from you on the inbound here.
3.6 just isn't much time. Even if they miss a second free throw, you got to go the length of the court. You only have maybe 2 to 3 dribbles at most. You'll probably end up with a half-court heave to try and, win it. But you can also try and get a turnover, get a steal on this inbounds play. But again, you don't have much time. If you get a hand on it, you got to come up with it and shoot it right away.
What a game this has been. The rest of conference play is half as good as this game, and we should be in for a treat of a season. Don't forget the men's game is coming up 30 minutes, not 30 seconds. Afterward, that's a quick turnaround between games, overtime. And now Ann Hancock will call a timeout back-to-back here with Graham Smith. So now the ball will be able to get advanced for Wingate, which increases their options here for the Bulldogs. So a smart move there by the veteran head coach.
Yeah, she had some good strategy to take that time out. Now it's interesting to see who's going to be the inbounds passer for Wingate. Sometimes you want your best passer to take that ball out of bounds, but oftentimes that's your point guard, and you don't want to take the ball out of her hands on the court. Right. So it looks like Sullivan is going to be the inbounds passer here, and Crooks on her, or excuse me, Dillinger is going to be on her to try and make it hard to get that ball inbounds.
Wilson and Clark are the 2 ball handlers, 23 and 11 there, along with Peyton Davis. So a lot of options ball handling-wise for Wingate. They do get it into the corner, and now Hudson has fouled out of the game as they get it into Hannah Clark. But still, even if Clark makes both of these, LR with 2.6 still probably has time for a couple dribbles at least and a shot, depending on how far ahead they pass it. But one of their big rebounders is out of the game now as Brandy Hudson has just fouled out, and Lindstrom comes back in for her.
You're probably not going to get a great look with 2.6, but you're going to get a look. You've got a chance to at least tie this thing.
So 70-68 now as Clark rolls the first one in, and now she has them both. So Troutman and Willis coming back in for the Bulldogs, and now they'll extend a full court press. This is smart. Don't want to.
And you see maybe they foul again. I mean,
yeah.
You don't want to foul a shooter in this and send them to the line for 3, but if they get a quick foul, Lenoir-Rhyne's really back against it.
And it's stolen. Willis throws it away, and the ball game is over. Wingate steals one on the road in overtime, 71-68. They trailed for over 30 minutes in this game, but got the shots at the end of the game when they needed them. And their dominance of Lenoir-Rhyne continues. Now 11 of the last 12 in this series have gone to the Bulldogs, and that was the epitome of a gutsy win tonight for Wingate.
One of these games, Lenoir-Rhyne's going to figure out a way to beat Wingate. They've been so close each of the last 3. To lose one like this is going to be a tough one to take, but I guess the beauty of this early season basketball is you don't really have much time to dwell on this loss. Right. We're back this weekend. We got a couple D1s Friday and Sunday, and then we're just right back to conference play next week against Coker.
71-68. Wingate ends up shooting 41%. They were in the 30s most of the game. The free throws, they didn't shoot it terribly well, 11 for 17, but just enough in the end. And it was really the defense at the end of overtime that got it done for the Bulldogs. So the Bears had a couple of good scoring possessions in a row, but were held scoreless for the last minute and a half of the game.
I mean, if you look at the stats here, Troutman, 26 points on 10 of 18, but I think if you asked Coach, the most clutch player on the floor tonight was Brandon, with those two huge three-pointers, both sealing momentum.
They don't win without them.
They tied at 69-66. The Bears went on a quick 4-0 run, like right out of the chute to take that lead, but to calmly bury that three-pointer and really just stop Lenoir-Rhyne in the tracks. If she misses that, Lenoir-Rhyne's got a chance to go up 5 or 6, and to just calmly step up and sink that one really, really turned the momentum around, and it was Wingate from there on out.
What an appetizer. The main course is coming up. The men's game between LR and Wingate. An instant classic of a women's game. Wingate 71, Lenoir-Rhyne 68. Jeremy Zalaka, the rest of our crew, will be back in 30 minutes. Eric Bach signing off. Until then, Wingate gets a big road overtime win over LR to open conference play.